lighting. Yes, in this lecture we'll do lighting. So we'll add some basic lighting to our well. But first we'll have to do a save as and rename your document to well lighting. And we'll try to save a version of the document for every lecture. So we can always step back, as said before. And then we'll also need to do a save as for the texture. So let's do a save as here as well. Image, save as, and just add a number, so rename it well 2. And we do that because we can save the document, but we also have to save the texture because we are only changing the texture. And if you save the document under a different name, but with the same texture, it'll just be the same document. Oh, and by the way, there's a trick, because when you have the same name, so let's rename it back, this will turn red. And when you have a different name, it stays red until you click out of that field here. So small thing, but it might help. Then also rename the texture slot. So rename texture well 2 here. And also under image, check if the source document is correct. So well 2, that's correct. Okay, back to tools. Oh, we can hide it with N because there is another toolbar here as well. And what we will do now is we will mimic the light fall on this well. So we'll change the colors so that it looks as if there's a light shining above this well, and so changing the base colors. Now it looks as if there is already some shading going on here, and that is because we have our lighting set on studio. When you set it on flat, you can see the real colors of the well, so the unlit well. And I can imagine you ask yourself, why are we painting in these lights instead of just using a lamp? Well, the reason is we want to be cheap, and with cheap I mean when you go to a game engine, for example, and you need to add lights, it costs a lot of processor time. And when you paint it in beforehand, it'll cost no extra processing time at all. Reasons for adding a light instead of painting it in is because lights can be dynamic, and that's more realistic because then lights can change during gameplay, for example when a character walks or when the sun turns. So in the viewport shading options, let's now turn on flat instead of studio on the lighting. That makes it easier for us to see which parts we have painted when painting and lighting. Then the first thing we'll do is we'll see how many colors we need for each part of the well. So how many shades per color. So for the roof we have the top, the side and the bottom. So 3 orange colors. And let's just put some dots in here. That's just because I don't have any memory in my head. And I can just remember how many colors we need. So brown, top, front, side, bottom and inside. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for the bricks, we have the top. That's the same color as we already have. Then we have the outside and the inside. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's color pick it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Now let's go to the image editor, control space. So we have a better view, and let's start making these colors. So first orange, we need a bigger brush, then S for color pick, and then put that color down here and hit N because we just hit the toolbar, and let's choose a little bit darker and put it next to the first dot, and then color pick the first dot again. Let's crank it up a bit and put it on the other side of the first dot. And maybe the contrast isn't good, but we can always fix that later on. So next up is the brown color. We needed 5 colors. So let's color pick the brown color here, and let's use that value as the middle value. So we need 2 darker and 2 lighter. So first 1 darker, click, another one, click next to it, then color pick the brown color again, and then go lighter. Up 1 shade, and up another one. So remember that? 1 shade lighter, that's about 1/10 of the value scale there. Gray part, color pick, and we need 3 of those, so this will be the middle one, 1 darker, color pick, and 1 value lighter. And have a look at the color palette we have now. That's pretty satisfying, right? Let's get out of this view with control space, hit N to hide the tool palette, and let's go from the top down again, alt click on the top. I'm using my mouse, by the way, not my brush tablet, because it's much easier when doing straight lines and using the fill tool. The stroke method we're using is line. Let's see. Yes, we are on line. The fall off is hard. We are on top view, so that's all good. Let's start with the lighter color of the orange, the roof color. Color pick it. And then make the brush a little bit bigger. And then just drag over it like this. You don't have to be precise yet, because we will fix it with the darker brown color. Let's color pick the, let me think, the lightest brown color. And then drag a line like this. And then you see we'll already correct the overlapping lighter orange color. Let's see if it's too light. It looks okay. Okay, Alt click on the side here and then Shift Alt click on the other side. Top view numpad 7. For the orange part we already have the right color because it's a medium color. For the wood color we need the second color now. So now let's color in the wood in the second color. So let's drag like that. I missed a part, but that's okay, we'll fix that later on. Okay, like so. Have a look from a distance, hit A to select all. You can see the roof is already getting a nice light shading going on. And you see these small mistakes here, those are not a problem because, surprise, we'll paint over everything later on again. So the side needs to be, oh that's okay, it's a middle color. So this one. Now let's go to the bottom. Let's select one with Alt and Shift select Alt to select the other three parts. And normally with H you hide everything that is selected, but with Shift H you hide everything that is not selected. And while with 7 on the numpad you see the top, with Control 7 you see the bottom. So Control numpad 7. Now do the darkest of the orange first. So select the darkest with S, or color pick. Let's just drag over it like that. It's pretty big, but it's not a problem. And then we take the second darkest of the wood. And then now we go more precise. And we can drag over it like this. A little bit better than this. We can do that. Like so. And on the other side as well. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Alt H to reveal everything again. That's good. Now do the inner part. So with Alt select the inside. All 4 of them. Let's turn off occlude and backface culling. Then we choose the darkest color of the wood. And now we can just draw over it like this. And even if we don't see anything, here you can see we are filling in everything. Okay, we need to fill in the sides as well. So we'll just go to 1 and then numpad 4 or 5 a couple of times. So we see a little bit of the side and do it again. And there you go. A to select all. Then have a good look. The inside of the beams, we could make those a little bit darker as well. Shall we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's see which colors shall we pick. Let's give them the color we have here as well. Okay, I'll zoom in a bit and with S I pick this color. And then with Alt I select this part of the beam. And with Shift Alt I select the other one. Let's paint over it. Something like this. Let's see. Yes, that's correct. So hit A to select all. Oh, I made a mistake there. We'll fix that. That sometimes happens, but it just gives me the chance to show you how we fix something like this again. No reason to panic. Let's zoom into that part here. Color pick this color. And zoom in a bit. Let's see how big is my brush. Something like this. Just drag over it. You probably know how to fix this, but I'll just show it. Okay, it's almost gone. The other side as well, that's there. Let's zoom in. S to color pick and just drag over it. Now it's gone. Small mistakes like that is not a problem, but bigger mistakes we better fix now. Let's hit home here in the image editor, so we see everything again. And let's continue with the bottom. So we have 3 colors here, the top, the side and the inner side. The top will be light, the inner side will be dark. Let's start with the inner side. So alt click on the part of the inner side, hit Ctrl L, and that way you have selected everything. S to get the darkest color. Just paint over it, like so. Look at the image editor to check if we have everything on the inner part. The top part will be lighter. Alt click, and with Shift click the other parts. Pick up the lighter color and paint over it a couple of times. We got everything, yes, and have a look. And that's it, the only thing we have to do now. Save the image. Save or Alt S when you hover over the image editor. You can see it's saved. Then save our document. Save or Ctrl S of course. That's lighting, you see, it already looks pretty cool. See you in the next lecture. Bye bye.